Okie dokie. Alright. Stream is working, I think. Oh my god, please tell me it's running. Yes! Okay, alright, it's live. Oh joy. Okay, audio works fine too. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Stream is up. Okay. One person on. I think that's just me. Yeah, it's just me. I should probably do like a dual stream for like Twitch at some point. Actually, let me see, where the hell's Twitch? God, I haven't touched my fucking Twitch in like actual years. God, I should set up a bot for this. Like, I have to keep doing every single one manually. Doki, still just one person in. Let me see. Okay, who's up first? Let's see. Oh, there they are. Oh, 3 people on. Welcome, everybody. So yeah, this is the stream. I'm probably just gonna finish up all the ones that I have kind of been meaning to do. Uh, so I think there's still just 2 left for this YCH. Oh, 4 people on now. Okay, all right. This is actually pretty quick. So caught a glimpse of him yesterday. Oh, hey Mark, pleasure to have you on again. Leave a. Okay, let's see. I'm just reaching out to some people who said they wanted to be notified when the stream went up, so I'm just doing that. Okie dokie. In that case, honestly, I could probably start like a fair bit earlier than usual this time. There's already like 4 people in. Man, I remember when it took me like hours just to get like 4 people. Back when I like one of the reasons I never did streaming was because it was just like I had my part-time job at the same time. Back when I was working at it was like a food store, it was like a bulk food store, but it was mostly like candy and shit. And back then I was working like insane, kind of like my schedule was nuts. I'd sleep like 4 hours in the middle of the night, 4 hours in the middle of the day, have my shift, and then like in the morning I would stream. It was crazy. And so like it just took so much effort to actually like do anything that I was just like, okay, I can't do this. Let's see, 5 people on now. Lurk. Yeah, no, it was a fucking ruthless schedule. I'll tell you that much. It was pretty crazy. It definitely did not help my perception later when I started working like crazy, because like I was like, oh well, if I could do that, then I can totally go to sleep at like 3 in the morning and wake up at 6 for work. Yeah, that did not end well, by the way. Don't do that. All right, let's see. We got 4 people on, 5 people on. I think I'm gonna wait another minute or two. Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't work like nuts like that. I learned the hard way. It was such a bad idea. At some point, I'll probably do a video on what that year was like because that was a really interesting year for me. Let's see, we got 4 people on still. Okie dokie. So today we're doing Lexi and Zelda Fan. Zelda Fan's a friend, actually. Well, they're both friends of mine this time. Let me actually grab the refs in the meantime while I set everything up. Okay, it shouldn't be too nuts. Yeah, I'm gonna wait another minute or two for the people who are just gonna get on stream, or who've like asked me to mention that I'm gonna be on stream, and then I'll get started. Okay, hold up, I'm gonna have to scroll for the ref. Lexi, if you can resend the ref, just to, oh wait, never mind, I found it. Here we go. Okie dokie. Okay, so this is for Lexi. So this time I'm only gonna have a headshot for this. It shouldn't be too hard though, honestly. I mean, that's like a fair amount of detail. I'm sure I could figure that out. Uh, so I'm probably gonna get started in a second. Just gonna wait a little bit for everybody else. Let me see. Have you been, Mark? What's been going on with you? Let's see. Do I have all the refs? Oh wait, yeah, no. I think Zelda Fan wanted me to do what's her name? Oasis. I should probably get the refs for her in advance, honestly. Did he send them to me? I don't recall. I don't entirely. Uh, yeah, I'll deal with that later. It's fine. Okie dokie. All right. I think this is pretty much everybody who's gonna be on now. All right. Also, holy shit, why is my audio so much louder than usual? Unless, oh no, my volume is just really high. Never mind. Okie dokie. Uh, is there anyone left I need to alert for this stream? I don't think so. Okay. All right. Time to get started. Yeah. Okay. So, this one's gonna be. This might be either a very short stream or a very long stream. So, I'm gonna be working on the 2 YCHs, and those shouldn't go too crazy, generally speaking. But I've not been bad at work at the moment myself. Oh, hey, nice to hear you were able to catch the stream. I really appreciate that. So this one shouldn't be too crazy. It's the 2 YCHs, but I wanted to see if I could squeeze in a bit of the comics I've been doing lately, because every single day I've actually been trying to see if I can do like a mini comic for Limanox, and then I don't know, I'll probably do some like TikTok shit for it where I'm like, oh, I'm a artist, and this is day one of I don't know drawing a comic book or whatever. Like I might do that, but I guess I'll see where that goes. But okie dokie, let me see. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Lexi's. I don't remember if they told me in particular. Yeah, I think she said, where is it? It's the outfit that I'm looking for, because that's gonna be the real crux of this one. I just need a ref. Okay, so they said slim kind of fit, chunk, blah 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 blah. Cow cow print. Yeah, okay. They said cow print. I think that'd be cool to see. Yeah, I don't see why not. The problem is just like I've always had trouble like with TikTok because it's like editing, right? Like it's basically like a mini video, and on top of everything else I do, it's just a lot of work sometimes. Okay. Okay, I see how this would go. All right, I'm gonna get started now. That I am going to get started now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can see how this character kind of would play out a little bit. I think I'm gonna go into like the really nervous look here. I believe they're like some kind of fox. I could be mistaken though. Hang on, I should probably get rid of the wrinkle there. The square pupils are neat. Yeah, I always like really like I like designs that use square pupils. It's definitely unique. Rectangular? Yeah, they're rectangles. Good point. Here we go. Yeah, honestly, I wish I had like an editor. Actually, wait, no. Hang on, hold up a sec. Where's Foxy? Where's Foxy? Hang on. I do know someone who... Curiosity, is your editor friend still... I just remembered that, like, I've been looking for an editor for a while, and a friend of mine actually recommended one, but I just didn't have the money at the time, but the YCH has definitely, like, made it a lot easier to do so I could probably actually just get an editor to do some of this stuff, because, like, honestly, it's gotten to the point where it's like a ton of work to just do on my own. I'm kind of used to it by now. Like, I don't really feel it that bad, but like, it definitely doesn't stress me out how it used to. But it is a lot of stuff to be doing at once. Ooh, I'll give him like a really round face. I think that'd be cute. Yeah, I think that's a little sweet. Ooh. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's a ton of stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not like I'm not working a steel mill. Like, it's not physically exhausting at the end of the day, but like with YCHs and doing comics and all this stuff and whatnot, I want to do more videos, especially for TikTok, because that seems to be how a lot of people are starting to find me now. Um, but the trick is just like I don't really have the time to edit all that, and like I could probably make the time, but you know, it's like it's a balancing act. Yeah. Let's see. Oh gosh. Ooh. Friend of mine's connection just got obliterated. Oh man, I hope I get that sorted out. Okay, so I'll put that little hair tassel here. Honestly, I think this character is probably the closest one to the original, like the original YCH like default character, like just in shape, more or less. So that is definitely making this one a bit easier, but I think this is coming out all right so far. I think I could add a little more to the hair here. Yeah. Alrighty, let me see. So yeah, up on the Patreon, I'm gonna be posting pretty much every single round of the YCHs. Once like the day they're done, the whole thing is gonna be there. So it's gonna be there like I haven't even finished posting round 3. Like I still have 4 or 5 of those to post. Oh hey Glog, howdy do. Definitely cute so far. Definitely a fan of how you draw hair. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just I like making it into shapes. Like it's fun. Like doing shapes like this definitely makes it a lot easier for me. I've noticed some people tend to draw it like very loose, like a water almost, if that's a good way to... Oh, hey, Alexka's in. Hey, Alexka. It's a pleasure to have you on. I was in a bit of a sour mood earlier, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to shut up and start streaming. I might as well. Focus on something actually productive. Okay. So they said cow print, but I kind of want to mess around with that a little bit. I kind of want to experiment. It'll probably just have to be shape, though. So they said swimwear. Cow print swimwear. Okay. This character is giving off very... Your hair, I double a statement of how your hair, how you draw hair. The geometric kind of shapes to give it a real nice distinct look. Well, thank you. I think because the way I like drawing hair, kind of opposite to me, as in what you say, everything is kind of like an S shape. Yeah, a lot of people tend to draw it like this, like which is perfectly fine. Like that's a pretty solid way to draw hair. Like you go here, oh, here's the bang one, here's bang two, and then it like doubles across and whatnot, and then you just keep layering lines. Like that's a totally solid way to draw hair. Me personally, though, I just generally like drawing hair like this because I think it really helps define the silhouette a lot better of a character. So like I can give a good example, real quick. Or actually, this is perfect. So like Dieter's hair in the comic. Oh, by the way, this is up on Patreon too if you guys want to check this out. I'm not posting it yet until all 4 pages are done, but like so Dieter's hair here is essentially just like one, two, three, four, five, like 6 lines. Technically speaking, like three. Um, Generally speaking, if you want a character to have a very distinct shape, you try to minimize the amount of lines you have, and that has generally been what I do, and that seems to work pretty consistently for me. Uh, yeah, no. Uh, it's interesting. I've actually gotten a ton of little comics done recently, because like in the morning I'll just be like, I'm just gonna do a comic as a warm up, a tiny one of the sketch comics. Because the thing is, I always had trouble kind of just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start doing the series. I'm gonna start doing the lore for it. I'm gonna start writing the characters. I'm gonna start doing comics and that sort of thing." And I always had a lot of trouble with that, just because generally speaking, I'm one of those people who is like, "Oh, I'm gonna world build first, right?" And and then once the world building is done, I'll actually like properly get into it and whatnot. Uh, and for the past couple of years I've been like, no, I can't just do that, which has been tough because that's like the complete opposite of how my brain is wired. But lately I've just been like doing it. I'm like, okay, no, I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna polish it. It's not gonna look great, but I'm just gonna do it. It's gonna be done. You have the same issue when it comes to stories as like, oh yeah, I've it's something I used to struggle with a lot, especially in like the days I was doing like Halcyon Bronze. That was really tough on me. But over the years, I've become more like, oh, I'm just gonna do it. The amount of TRPGs I've planned, like world building. Yeah, no, I get that. It's rough sometimes. Like, you want to do it, you know it could be good, and then you don't do it for what it's worth. I really love hearing you ramble about your lore deeply last night. Thank you. Yeah, I like doing world building. Not as much as I did before. It's definitely soured itself on me, but that's more like a personal thing than anything. That's because I had like Halcyon. Like I think Read Manifest definitely did not help a whole bunch in regards to that. I think I'm gonna have this dude holding like a popsicle because I think it'd be funny. It will be like, oh no, ice cream, because it's a cow print. That'd be smart. There we go. He's holding his ice cream. Try to pull the thumb a bit further back. It can burn you, yeah. No, it can. That's why I've just been like, okay, I'm just gonna do a comic every single day if I can. Well, not every single day, but like some days I'm gonna be tired. But I'm trying to do like at least one every now and then. And like the fact that I haven't really stressed about them has definitely made it super easy to do them. So like if you guys want, actually, hang on. I finished one yesterday for Eleanor. I was hoping to do another on stream, like if there's time, because I'm gonna have to head out in like an hour or two, because it will be time for luncheon. But honestly, I might do 2 streams today if people are, people want to see that. I've been wanting to stream more for a while now. Yeah, it does sound like a good idea when actually does comic doodles in his daily planner. Yeah. I always had this like, I call it like Tumblrism. You know when people have like their OCs doing things and then it kind of takes off a little bit, like because they they actually have like a tangible thing going on. That used to be really big on Tumblr. Consistency is a nice thing to add to the routine, man. Yeah, no. My schedule used to be everywhere since July because it was just so chaotic. But yeah, like little slice of life things. Yeah, so those things, I used to I it always frustrated me because for the longest time I was like, how do people just do that? Like I always imagine I'm like, oh, I have to have like a solid foundation, or I have to do this, I have to do that and whatnot. I have to work a ton, and like I've kind of already done that, and like it just didn't really work. And so like at the time I was like, I think these people are just kind of doing it, and I was always like, oh, like why can't I just do it? And so that was something that kind of hit me, and then I was like, oh, because like my brain doesn't really work that way. Like I have to have like a thing. Like I can't really explain it. It's a lot harder for me to just do it, or rather than like plan it out and like, oh, this makes sense because of this and whatnot. But lately, like with Lima Knox, I've had like this is probably the first series I've done where I just have like a solid grasp of the characters like straight off the bat, and I'm just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. Why not? So that's what I've been doing. Be able to do silly things like that. I get you. If your brain is not wired for it, this is why I call it like a Tumblrism, like a Tumblr style of like, oh, you just do slice of life of the character and you just post it because like back on like old Twitter and like back when Tumblr was a lot bigger, before they did, I don't know why they did that, but like uh back when it was a lot bigger, people would generally just post things. Like think about like Homestuck. Like there was no planning for it. Like it was just put out and people liked it because it was there. And I kind of knew that early on. I was like, I kind of just have to do this. But like, if you're not really built for it, like if because the internet is built a certain way, and if your brain isn't really built for that, it is very hard to adapt to the way the like, especially artist space, like the space that artists have, generally speaking, is like generally a certain way, and it's very hard to adapt to it if you're just not really built for that. I've noticed. I've been able, like, it can take time. I still want to do low commitment MSP. Honestly, if you have time, go for it. You kind of can't really, like, people also like it because seeing more about a character, learning more about their mannerism. Yeah, literally. So, like, it's not actually a bad way of organizing things. Like, it isn't necessarily a bad way of, like, doing it because people want to see things. Like, you can think of it like a newspaper comic or something. Like you have to have something there to enjoy it, right? So like in a way, it's not necessarily wrong. Like it's that's just naturally what people like. And so like but like for people who like I said whose brains are just not wired that way, it's really tough to get adjusted to it. I know tons of people who do world building stuff, but like they always get frustrated because they're like, oh, it doesn't really go anywhere, it doesn't really get that much attention, and like obviously, okay, like you shouldn't be. Let me see. My favorite GM says characters are always much more important than background. People relate to. Yeah, no, that's true. That's a fair point. The common pratfall is to be like, oh, this doesn't get too much attention, and I know I'm there all the time sometimes, but like that's going to happen regardless. But like, yeah, generally speaking, if you just focus on the thing and then you put the thing out, it's very hard to get used to, but it is very much worth it when you do figure it out. I'm starting to see. Honestly, just for my sake, because I've had ideas like stuck in my head for years, or just like even like the past couple months, like with Lemanox, I'm like, oh, I want to draw this, but then like I don't do it because I feel like I have to plan it out, and now I'm just kind of doing it, and it's like, well, now it's already there. Also, Mark, to go back on what you were saying, you want to do a low commitment MSPA thing, like really badly. You should totally do that. Um, ow, I hit my knee. Ow. Okay. Yeah, no, if you want to do something, that's the first step. Even if you're not wired for that yet, yeah, that hurt my knee. I think I hit like right on the ligament. Even if you're not like I said, you're not built right yet, you're not wired for the sort of like I said, the Tumblrism, like the character, the oh, this is the story, this is the thing, I'm gonna do this now. Even if you're not built for that right now, just doing something will at the very least give you like a significantly better understanding of what you're doing, and you should just do that. So like, if you have like a solid idea of what you want to do, just put it somewhere and like don't really think about it. You can fix it later. Like, trust me, no one will hold you accountable if you change like a detail later. I think generally speaking, that's the thing that holds a lot of people back. They get worried that they're like, oh, but if I do this, and what's gonna happen? And like generally speaking, the only person who's really gonna hold yourself accountable to that is you. I've noticed, because I do that with my own stories a lot sometimes. Okay, so I think this is a decent look. I'm assuming this character has a tail, because it's like a fox, so naturally it would be. No, it's just a matter of not worrying. It's horrible in my case, for sure. Okay. Uh, oh my. I love this outfit. Yeah, I really like this outfit. Dude, this round has been the best for outfits. Like, I can't even lie. Uh, so this one, huge nostalgia trip for me. This one is hands down probably one of my favorite. Getting the tail of the way before I can forget it this time, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just a quote of like, just make it real first. Yeah, that's a quote I've been seeing a lot in the past like year, and I kind of just took it to heart. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna let's we ball, make it real first, and make it good. Yep. No, that's good advice. It's definitely helped me a lot. But yeah, no, this YCH has been really good. Yeah, no, Orion, dude, this was such a fun one. I kind of went all out with this one. I really liked the outfit. I really liked the yeah. Oh, also I just realized this backwards. For anyone who's curious, if you're ever looking to find one of my original clothing designs, you can tell by this little moniker here. The outfits have just been crazy good. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Uh, so this is the one I did yesterday for Skrunkle. This is also a really good one. I'm really happy with how this one came out too. Very like ancient kind of Art Deco look. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, Greek goddess vibes at a modern. Yes, that's exactly what I was going for. Thank you. That's exactly it. That's like the perfect. That encapsulates it perfectly. Thank you. That is exactly what I was looking for. But yeah, that's like kind of my favorite aesthetic. I don't know how to explain it, but I think modern modern characteristics. People say they hate modernism, but I don't think that's necessarily true because modern ideas actually have quite a bit of merit to them, especially when it comes to asymmetry and shape design. The problem with modernism is just that it lacks the ornamentation that exists in older art. And so, like, I've generally noticed this kind of trend that people are moving back to ornamentate. Yeah, essentially blending modern and the past and whatnot. It seems like kind of there was this realization around the 20th century where people were like, oh, okay, well, we've already done the detail thing. We did that with Rococo and we did that with the Renaissance and we made it simpler in the aforementioned Rococo style. And like we retrofuturism, not quite. Retrofuturism is that's a good point. That's a good thing to bring up actually. Retrofuturism is definitely a curious kind of blend. It's definitely the right idea. Like I like that people are doing it, but I think this is more something like the thing I like seeing is like when people take aspects. Here, let me explain. Okay, so take like a modern house for example. Like people, it's like a square. It has like a door here, and then some like asinine shape over it. Retrofuturism is super cool. Yeah, it is. Retrofuturism is definitely a good thing to bring up. So thank you for that, Clowny. But like, so like this is like what a modern house looks like a stereotypical. This is contemporary in architecture. Although I think contemporary has a different name now. I think this is actually considered like um Swiss style. I don't remember. But like yeah, here's your modern house. Here's your windows. And like this is kind of shit, just off the bat. Like most people do not, generally speaking, like these houses, at least now. But that's not. You are literally putting words into everything about design that resonates so damn strongly with me. We're gonna have so much to talk about in DMs about this. Yeah, I have wanted to make a video discussing this topic for so long. Um, I think there's things about it I need to research more though before I do. I think. Because I don't entirely know everything. But like when you go to design schools, generally speaking, the design they teach you is exclusively about shape and hierarchy. It's like shape and hierarchy. Um, you see this a lot in architecture schools where the primary focus is to make the shape kind of this fancy, it's a bunch of squares. Like you've seen these buildings, I've seen these buildings, everyone has seen these buildings. Brutalism, utilitarianism kind of swayed modernism quite a bit to like a plainness. Yeah, so that's definitely true, but it is also true that um, the architecture schools were very heavily influenced by civil planners, and so these were made, well, maybe not civil planners, more like business people. The aesthetic of this became the standard for good because this is actually quite cheap to build. So like you can maximize a profit base. As far as I'm aware, like you can maximize like oh you don't actually have to build that much and you can sell it for quite a bit. I could be wrong though. Like I've never built a house, but to my knowledge, that's my understanding. Um, Sorry, what am I saying? I'm getting really off topic. So what I want to see more of is like what I don't think modern architecture does enough is they don't the shape design that wasn't there in the past is there now, but the problem is it's lost the ornamentation, which is a big part of art. So a lot of people in art are like definitely fairly easy to prefab. Yeah, like it's not necessarily a bad thing that houses are easy to design. Like or something is easy, you can put it up. The problem is then you sell it for like $1 million and like no one can afford it. So like yeah, that's the real trick. But it's like what I was saying. That's a different conversation. But so like with here, I think the thing that is lacking in modern architecture is like I said, it's this ornamentation that a lot of modern art tends to stray from because it sees it as unnecessary. But like art is an inherently human thing, and so like technically speaking, if ornamentation manifests like you see in Renaissance styles, so like neoclassical or just even going back to like the early Greek styles, like because that is there, is that not still technically a part of art and whatnot? So a lot of them will be like, oh, there's no meaning in ornamentation or blah 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 and whatnot, etc. etc. But like it manifests, so clearly there's something there. And so like I think if more modern architecture and more modern art actually just added this ornamentation in, so like for example, like here, like this is still technically what would I don't know, some like random I'm sure some engineer would hate to design this, but like this is a shape. It would be some random modern building junk or whatever. Well, maybe not junk. That's a bit cruel, I think. Just a random modern building, let's say. But there's so many things you could do with this. You could put an archway support here, have a garden on this side. Maybe it rains down from here or something, and then you have like an overlook. Like there's a ton of things you could do with this. You could patternize the front. You could, I don't know, you could add maybe this entire front part is just a painting of someone. Maybe this whole thing is like a work of art. Ornamentation, I love accessories that break it up a bit. Detail and fashion and such, I live for them. Yes. So I think just a lot of that has been lost in the modern day. Because generally speaking, it's expected that more is better. And like that is a fair school of thought. But sometimes things need to change and whatnot. Especially because I haven't really seen ornamentation as much, which is why I really, really love doing stuff like this. Because all things considered, this outfit is not actually that complex. Like if you break it down, uh, I imagine I imagine cold hammering the piece of bronze on the chest plate would be a pain in the ass. But like you can see here, the left side of the bra is coming over. This is just one shape of this part in particular. And aside from the little coin details, generally speaking, the lower part is essentially just fabric. I imagine that would be some kind of retroreflective fabric if I was going to make this IRL. Uniformity, symmetry can look neat, but sometimes it's too homogeneous. Yes, that's exactly the point. Um, that's perfect. Generally speaking, uniformity can be really nice. It's really good. It's definitely a good spot to learn. But to get really interesting shapes, I've found you kind of have to go asymmetrical because that's at least for me personally. Like I'm not like other people have different styles, and truth be told, like you can make anything look good if you know what you're doing. But uh, I found the most interesting parts of design come from asymmetry, at least for me. So like when I put The cloak on the right side, but not on the left. It kind of, I don't know. That's like an opportunity to do something with that. Orion's character is definitely the best example I have of this, but this one also works a lot too. And then Scrunkles as well is a pretty good example of that. Honestly, I talk. You need to eat your designed vegetables with your designed sugar. Yeah, for sure. I'm talking a lot of big words, but truth be told, at the end of the day, it's just art. Like it's what feels right. And to me, doing stuff like this feels right. So yeah, let me see. Okay, back to the drawing. Sorry, that was so off topic. That was a fun little talk. That was fun. I don't like talking about stuff like that usually because I don't like going on rants because you can tend to mess up your words on a bit of a rant. Like sometimes you say the wrong thing and then you regret it later. But that was a nice little chat. I'm really glad about that. I definitely want to at some point do a much more long form video going over my thoughts on that. But it definitely seems like people want detail again. It's fun, but try not to. No, 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 no. You're not sidetracking me. Don't worry. That was me getting into a rant. Don't worry. Man, I wish we could share. It's also up my alley, but one of my mentees has been pulled fully into his stuff. No, don't worry. Don't worry at all. That clearly takes priority. You should focus on that. Don't worry at all. I think this is good, actually. I'm gonna check in with Lexi real quick. Take some. It's a banger, but also the goofy is a cat, not a fox. Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lexi. I forgot to check this. So, foxtail. Sorry, not a foxtail. What am I saying? Cattail. Cattail, not a foxtail. It's alright. You're having fun, silly. Oh, thank you, Lexi. Okay. Um, so cattail. So cute. So the belly windows. Yeah, this is like my. I really like doing these. I'm 100% biased in this. I think the tummy needs to be shown. Okay. Is it looking good? Question mark. I'm just gonna ask Lexi real quick. Let me see what his Lexi said. Correct by tummy window is peak. Oh my god. Yeah, this is like my favorite thing ever. This is really nice. I like doing this. I very much want this to become like my thing. I really like doing it. Okay, sorry, off topic. Oh, God, what am I gonna eat? I just realized there's like nothing in the fridge. What am I gonna eat? It rocks? Thank you. Thanks, Mark. Mark, thank you a ton for getting on the stream earlier, by the way. But thank you all for being on the stream, actually. Belly windows, work them into your characters' outfits. Yeah, okay, so I have been considering something for New Yorkus, which I think. So New Yorkus is probably going to be my most recent, like. I want that to kind of be my like my current time magnum opus because like I have so many ideas for New Yorkus I want to do, but I'm not gonna have any expectation. So like what happens happens. But I have really wanted to work kind of some ideas into this a bit more. Very glad to be here. It's always fun. And oh no, I need to think of what to eat too. Yeah, I gotta get some lunch or something. Uh, so I think what's gonna happen actually is I'm gonna keep going on this stream until like 12 probably. Yeah, I'll keep going until 12, and then I think I'm gonna head out for lunch because I have literally nothing to eat at home right now. It's been a while since we did groceries. But I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna head back and then I think I'm actually gonna continue the stream because I have the whole day off today. It's been great actually. This whole week I haven't really had too much to do, so I've just been able to focus on art. It's been really nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna ask Lexi if this is good for the line work. Bias. Is the line work good? Question mark. 7 peeps watching. I know, it's great. I'm really happy. It's been so lovely to see that people like watching these streams. Like it's really nice. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. I'm just gonna ask Lexi if the line work is okay, and if it's good, then I'm gonna continue. I've actually, yeah, back in college, so like around February when I was still in college before I graduated, I wanted to do streams at night for a long time because I thought it would help stabilize me at the time because I was like, makes me hope you do one later when I'm not dividing my. Yeah, don't worry. I think I for a long time I've been like, and by a long time I mean like since around January. It's amazing. I love it. Oh, thank you, Lexi. All right, Lexi said it's good. We're gonna continue. But yeah, so like for a decent amount of time now, I've been like, I I should just stream my art because I've noticed that when I'm in VCs with people, I'm generally way more focused. And I'm like, well, I should just stream it. And I've thought for a long time, I was like, well, I have a lot of fun when I'm talking with people and whatnot, and it generally helps me focus on just, like the thing, like what I'm doing. Uh, and so I was just thinking like, oh, why don't I do just streams? Kind of like like ye old radio talk show host. I'm back. We had to make a phone call. This is turning out great. Thank you, Glog. But yeah, so like generally speaking, I was like, I want to just do this and like just talk and have fun. I was considering it back in February because I was not feeling great in February, and I was like, maybe it might help if I have like a chat of people to talk to, like without getting too nuts, like on the stream and whatnot, because like obviously people want to chill and whatnot. But I was like, why don't you do that? I didn't do it because at the time I was just I had college, I had my thesis, but honestly, I might do it now. I have it. I've been having a lot of fun with these streams, and like pretty much all the time I've been way more focused when I do these streams. And like generally speaking, when I do my art, I'm like there for hours. And so I'm like, well, I might as well be streaming this anyway, because at least then I'll be like, I'll be talking at least if if nothing else, at least ambiently. Uh yeah. I have a lot of energy today. I have pretty much the whole day to just work on this, on the YCHs. And actually, I think I want to finish that Dieter comic. I want to do page 3 and 4. So the only problem I have with streaming, gosh, those cow printers are so cute. I think I showed you in my DM strawberry milk. Yes, I think you did. I've been fun. Honestly, I've been drawing myself besides today when watching. Oh, that's really good to hear. I'm really happy to hear that. Drawing is definitely a good thing to do now and again. Oh wait, actually, I think Fox already got back to me. Awesome. I should catch one on stream sometime. Really afraid. Okie dokie. Oh, Dark Flame responded. Okie dokie. Uh, sorry, vocal stem. Okay. So Lexi says the lines are good. I'm gonna mess around with the color a little bit. Should totally doodle more. Yeah, don't force yourself to, obviously, but like don't make yourself feel bad if you don't. But like it's fun to do sometimes. Ever since I've been doing it, keep in mind I am unemployed, so like I can just do this. Like the joys of not really having like a job because the job market sucks ass right now. So like I can just do this in my free time, like which is pretty much all the time. But this is basically like kind of like a full-time job now, in a lot of ways. Uh, damn. Okay, it's gonna be like that, isn't it? Oh God, I hate it when Sai does this. I just got a screen tablet, so I've been doing a lot more. Always been a dream of mine. Ooh, okay, that sounds really cool. I've been using the same what is this fucking thing? It's like a Gaumon, I think, for like 2, 3 years now. I've kind of gotten used to it. I don't know if I could work with a screen tablet, honestly. I'm so used to like a non-screen tablet that I don't know if I could actually like use one with the screen. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm just gonna have to guess for this one. Fuck it, we ball. Why is it? Oh, it's selected. That's why. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to guess for where this character's like fur actually goes. It's an old iPad with an old Apple Pencil. Ha ha ha. No matter what, it's a huge upgrade from my 10 plus. Jeez. Okay. Damn. That Wacom was pulling its weight, man. Christ. 10-year-old Wacom is nuts. I can scribble on Microsoft Paint. Okay, some of you might call me insane for this. You can actually do some pretty wicked stuff on MS Paint. I've seen people do some insane stuff on MS Paint. Like if you try it, like if you know kind of if you have like a grasp of art fundamentals, you can do some pretty insane stuff on MS Paint. It's a people underestimate it, I think. People don't take MS Paint that seriously, but you can do some insane stuff on it. I've seen a lot of people do some pretty crazy things. I fuck with Paint, yeah. Paint for the win though, yeah. I fuck with MS Paint pretty hard. I am definitely not skilled enough to know how to do what those people do on MS Paint, but you can do some pretty wicked stuff on it. It's a mod for Paint and it adds layers. Yeah, I think I saw that actually. I saw something like that once. Also, I love how MS Paint hasn't really changed that much for like almost 20 years. Paint works super well for your minimalist. Yeah, it's a. I like Psy for the same reason I'm sure a lot of people like MS Paint. Like the people who religiously use MS Paint, I mean. Like, I like Psy because it doesn't hold your hand. Like, it doesn't tell you to do things. Like, it doesn't put a gajillion buttons in the way like every Adobe software does. And it doesn't like it doesn't really cause that many problems. I've never really had Psy crash on me ever. It's a sturdy little program. Okay, that doesn't look good, so I'm going to keep that blank. But if Lexi says it should be a certain way, then I will change it. Okay, add the gradient to the fur here real quick. Krita is my go-to, but even for that, I have a brush pack that replicates the old Flipnote DS brush. Yeah, the old Flipnote brushes are pretty good. Uh, I like Krita. I just don't use it because I'm really used to Sai. But I mean, at some point, I might go to Krita. I've been looking into Moho a lot more though recently. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've been looking a lot into Moho as of late. I'm considering getting it just so that my animation stuff is a little bit easier because I suck ass at animating frame by frame. So it would definitely help to just have models for tweening. Ooh, that actually looks really nice. I didn't realize how nice the black band would look on that. Yeah, that actually works pretty well, honestly. I'm gonna keep the black band. I like that. I didn't realize how stylish that looked. Yeah, that works really good. Okay. Let me just add a gradient to this real quick. Very clean. Yes, I felt the same way when I saw it. It's like it fuses it all together very well. I feel my eyes popping out from looking at this. Oh, that's funny. Ooh, wait, actually, let's really dip into like the warmth of this one. Yeah, like that. I'll probably saturate it a lot more later, but for now, there we go. Yeah. I like where this is going. Or maybe a bit more saturated. Tiny bit more orange. This one a little bit lighter. Perfect. I might need to up the contrast on this a bit. Okay, yeah, sorry. I needed to down the contrast, actually. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. The hair should be pretty easy, too. This is already kind of a warm color. I'm going to definitely make it a little less yellow. Oh, Lexi messaged. Looking wonderful there, gradient pretty. Thank you. I'm a big fan of gradients, as you can, as pretty much all of you have probably been able to tell now. What? Why? Why is it not? Oh, that's why. Okay. Whoops. I had the alpha lock on the wrong layer. Oh, I'm stupid. Now that's also on the wrong layer. Gradient pretty. It is pretty. Uh, Big gradient head over here. Yeah, size apparently. I was shocked to learn that apparently most drawing softwares don't have a good gradient tool. Like apparently Psy is one of the few that actually has one that's like not crazy complicated. Like I was shocked to hear that Procreate doesn't really have a gradient tool, which is astonishing to me because like it's Procreate. Like half of all artists use Procreate. That's insane. Like how do you work like that without gradients? I can't imagine it. Okay, I think this is ooh, I really like that for the hair actually. That's like perfect. Yeah, there's like that's I think that's probably why I stick to Psy so aggressively because it's just like one, I'm used to it, so I'm completely biased there. But two, it has things that I can't even fathom like why they aren't just standard, like a gradient tool. Like how is that not just everywhere? Warp tools, like a physical smudge tool. I haven't been able to share the most attention is because work, but this is coming out so cute. Oh, don't worry, Alexa. You don't have to keep apologizing. It's all right. I'm just glad you're here. I really appreciate it. I will preface this by saying I'm no more than a novice by any means, but I'm not a huge fan of Procreate. Uh, yeah, I'm not really like I know a lot of people who use Procreate, and I think it's neat. The painting tools are definitely like probably like A tier. Like I don't really think I've seen anything quite like match up to them. Gosh, it's so pretty. I love your art style so much. Thank you. Yes, I'm a big fan of asymmetry. Is I'm sure a lot of you have probably noticed. I might have to adjust the cow print colors to be a bit more like, yeah, something like this. I need a tiny bit more contrast here. Uh, it's like it's cool. Yeah, no, the tools are awesome, but it's just made in a way that doesn't work in my brain. I feel relatively similarly. Um, I know a ton of people who use Procreate. I've touched it like a little bit. I've chipped at it a little bit here and there on my friend's tablet, and I've like used it a tiny bit, but like it just doesn't really click in the same way that Krita or like oh yeah, the one thigh eye. Yeah, I thought that was a neat little detail. Yeah, it doesn't really what should I call it? Procreate doesn't really click in my head the same way that like Krita or Psy or even like Photoshop for the people still living in the big 25 that still use Photoshop to draw. Like it doesn't really click the same way. I don't know how to explain it. Uh, Maybe it's just me though. Like I know plenty of people who can use it just fine. Okay, what are we thinking? Are we thinking this like light blue here or not? What do you guys think? Light blue, and then here's no light blue. Like this is just like kind of a like a salmon, like a grayed out salmon. What do you think? Salmon, light blue. I think I like the light blue personally, but what are you guys saying? My brain is saying the light blue. but I don't know. I think the light blue is a nice contrast. Yeah, because I think it works with the eyes. Yeah, the blue. Okay, we're going with the blue. I guess we do in blue. Okay. Uh, this fur color, the fur base should be a bit more saturated. Tiny bit more. And then the white on this needs to have more yellow in it. Yeah. Also, oh my goodness, thank you, Glog. I really appreciate that little compliment earlier. What if it was per blue? Interesting. Let me try that, actually. It's not a bad suggestion. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, let me just get a bit more contrast in the white. Ooh, yeah, that looks good-ish. No. No, what am I saying? There we go. That's better. Let me try it with purple, actually. That's not a bad idea. Okay, let me... This is the one thing I don't like about Psy. Selection tool is kind of ass on it. Okay, let me try purple to blue. That doesn't look too bad, actually. I'll see a joke, but I don't know. I kind of like it. It kind of works. Uh, it's definitely easier on the eyes, I think. But I am going to have to adjust the eye color a little bit, just to be a tiny bit more teal. Teensy, teensy, teensy bit more teal, just to even it out. Yeah, there we go. That kind of works, actually. I kind of like that. Has Lexi said anything? Looking good, looking good. Light blue looking good. Okay, Lexi also thought the blue looked good. Oh, the ears. I completely forgot. The ears should be pretty easy, honestly. Okay, or yeah, or that could happen. Okay, yeah, fairly simple. Nothing too crazy. I might warm this just so it feels a bit more. There we go. Perfect. I think, I think this is it. I think this is good. I'm gonna ask Lexi what she thinks about the color, and then I'm gonna finish up. And then I think I'll do. I think I still have a bit of time to do Zelda fans, and then I'm gonna. And then I'll start working on I guess I'll finish the stream. I'll get lunch, and then I'll work on those comics. Ooh, wait. Ooh. Teal backdrop. That looks good. Or actually, no, this looks kind of nice. I kind of like that. Like a sunset almost. Looks good. I like that. Ooh, yeah, that cooler color pairs up very well. Hey, glad so. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna cheat real fast. Ooh, wait. I completely forgot to color the lines real quick. Let me just do that. This is my neat little trick that I like doing to make all my stuff look nice. Coloring the line definitely. It's not for everyone. Like, I wouldn't recommend you base your style around it, but I like doing it a lot. Uh, okay, yeah, looks good. And then I'm gonna saturate this a tiny bit more, and then I'm gonna mess with the color something. All right, perfect. Okay, I think that's it. That's it. That's the one. I think that's good. Now I just need to add this little bottom part. And we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, Lexi said anything? Nope, not yet. Ooh, let me send Foxari this link real quick. You know, I've been considering. Ooh, we got 8 viewers. Hell yeah. I've been considering getting into VTubing for a while, because if I'm gonna be doing these streams more, I've considered it, like, you know, making like a 2D VTuber or like a 3D one maybe. I'd have to learn how to do 3D first, but I don't know. I've kind of wanted to try it for a while. Colored outlines, my beloved, use it a lot in sprite art. Yeah, you kind of have to use it in sprite art. I've noticed PNG tubers. Yeah, yeah, I might do a PNG tuber thing. Dialogue is gonna be hard. What am I gonna do? I admit. Let's see if Lexi likes this dialogue. I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. I'm gonna play around a wee bit. It should be 725. Always love PNG tubers. Had a friend who helped me with a PNG tuber and used it for streams. Oh, that's really sweet. Hey, Fox. Hey, Foxari. It's lovely to have you here. I do these streams relatively frequently. So everybody welcome Foxari. They're a friend of mine. Welcome to the stream. Let me see. I admit this is not the kind of art that you will that you will generally see like around the Tindy server, but like this is some of the kind of stuff you do. Sorry, I do. What am I saying? All right, you win. I admit it looks it looks nice. I think I'll add like a heart above this. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Mark and I believe Alexa were here earlier in the morning, and then Clowny joined a little bit in. But yeah, I've just been doing like art streams for a little bit. Okie dokie, here we go. Yeah, I'll just do like a heart emote. The text is a fun detail. Yeah, I like doing. I kind of like back in June, I think I started kind of yeah. Oh no, I was just saying that you joined the stream earlier, Alexa. That's all. Like you were here a bit ago. That's what I was saying. So like yeah, what was I saying? I was saying something. Oh right. So like I've been trying to since June. I kind of told myself I was like I kind of want to mix graphic design in my art a little bit more because in real life I actually do like design stuff. So I'm like I kind of just want to let me see. I'm curious. I'm gonna call with my mentee, so at the same time, so I might miss some stuff. Oh yeah. Don't worry, don't worry. Uh, that takes priority, of course. Don't you worry at all. Let me see. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to get this heart to look like right. I understand about the different art, by the way. I don't mind. I do not mind what anyone makes. Okay, that's quite fair. Yeah, I've just this is the kind of stuff I've liked for a long time, and I've just kind of recently become like comfortable with it. So I'm just like, yeah, why not? I have fun doing it. Okay, here we go. Art emote. Ooh, wait. It should be like this, because then we'll have geometry. Ooh, I absolutely love graphic design though. I'm not very good at it. I'm trying to incorporate it into my web design and whatnot. Uh, yeah, no, it can be rough. Uh, it's definitely something comfortable with what you like. Thank you, Fox. Sorry. I suppose I should just say Ari, shouldn't I? Yeah, no, it's fun. I like doing this stuff. I've liked it for a long time, but I was always like really like afraid to be like, oh, I thought it was gonna get like canceled or something just for liking that stuff. But it color me shocked when I started doing it, and I ended up getting even like more support. Like it was really funny. Uh, yeah, I've always had I've always been a little paranoid about some things, but this has been really fun. Like I've really enjoyed doing these. I admit, it looks nice. Ah, damn it. I don't want to have to keep relying on the water fringe effect to make the text stand out. Ideally, the text should just stand out on its own. Like that. Like that's pretty... Actually, why don't I just do that? That looks fine. What am I saying? I should just do that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I was really afraid of like being like, oh, I like doing like kind of chubby art for a long time, but now I'm just like, I guess whatever. Like I enjoy it a lot. Okay, let's try this. Because I definitely want it to look warm. So girly boy. Oh my goodness. Shit. I want it to look warm, but it doesn't look right. Actually, no, that looks fine. Never mind. Never mind. When are you gonna have your next moment enjoying an outfit? My goodness. When I actually buy an outfit first, because I've kind of been putting that off for a while. How's that look? Oh, that looks good. Actually, no, I could use a bit of balance. Bit more. Okay, that's much better. And I think I'll shrink this down a tiny bit. Okay, and there we go. Let me just add in that final gradient. That's unbalanced. Shrink that. And shrink this too. Add this here. Okay, looks like I'm not exactly gonna have time to do Zelda fans right now, because it's lunchtime and I gotta head out in a sec, but I should get this one done. And we had a lovely chat most of the time. Okay, that's some cute design work, thank you. I like doing like little, like I had a chat earlier about like ornamentation and stuff in like modern styles of design, and I really like doing this kind of stuff. Like it's objectively speaking, quote unnecessary, but like it's nice. Like I like it. It's fun. Love your graphic design stuff in your art, and I'm shocked that you do it all manually, not in like a vector program after the fact. Uh, okay, so I have just been using I when it's funny because when I was in college, my friends kind of said something similar because like I remember I was talking to one of my professors and they were like, "Oh, what are you doing this in? Like Illustrator or like InDesign or whatever?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm using Paint Tool Sigh," and they gave me this look like I was insane. Like I was actually like nuts or something. Amazing dialogue as well, always from Cal Holy Peak. More count. Yeah, okay. So Lexi's thing is they love doing like she loves like adding like cow print to stuff, and so I really played into like the bias of that here. It's like maybe the buddy over here is like he's like maybe he was like kind of pushed into it a little. He's like kind of in denial. Like maybe he wanted to do it, but he was like no, I kind of want to do it, but and then like the story here is like he actually ended up doing it. He's like okay, fine, it looks nice, and it does look nice. I think it's a nice little look. Okay, I think this is good. I think this is done. I'm gonna, but yeah, no, seriously, Zachary, like the, yes, I do all my graphic design work like manually. Like I just type it in or like I do shapes, because I just generally find it a lot easier, honestly. It was super fun to talk about. I honestly do a lot of my fashion stuff by intuition alone and never put it into words. Yeah, uh, sometimes something just feels right, and that's totally fine. If you want to like study it more or you want to just learn more about it, that's totally cool. But sometimes, like, yeah, no, sometimes it just feels right. It's super, super cute. All right. Well, let me send this over to Lexi. See what Lexi thinks. Although I'm pretty sure I already know what Lexi thinks. Lexi has been DMing me and they seem to really like this. Uh, I apologize. I hope you're fine with me saying that, by the way. If you wish for it not to be mentioned, Lexi, I shan't. But Oh, gosh. Round four has probably. I don't like picking favorites for these because each one kind of has its own characters, but I think for just the outfits, round four has been my favorite so far. Let me Lexi underscore round four, Lexi two. Oh God, yeah, no, I've already done a few for Lexi, haven't I? This is Lexi four, I think. Yeah, one, two, three, four. Yeah, this is Lexi four. Four round four, and then I have to make the NoFX version. God, that's taking so long to export. Okay, here we go. All of these have turned out so amazing. I love all of them. Yeah, that's why I said it's hard for. I can't really pick favorites because there kind of are no favorites. They all have such like distinct characters and like they're so much like little bits that I've enjoyed making that like honestly I love them all a ton. Like I really, 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 really love the vibes on this. Yeah, no, for sure, Mark. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna go for lunch. I'm gonna be back later, and then later I'm gonna do Zelda fans, and that should finish up the YCH for this round. I think next week, I might open up again. I think round five I'm gonna open up again first week of October. I think that'll be fun because people still really like these, honestly. So I am thinking of doing something a little different this time around because there seems to be a lot of demand for these. Um, and I just don't have all the time to do all of them. So what I was thinking of doing was I was actually considering doing a new YCH, which Alexa, how different are you willing for the body shape to be out of curiosity? So it's a good question. Generally speaking, any change to the body shape, I'm going to be charging at least $20 to $30 extra because that's like a deviation from it, and that is effectively like I've already had people ask me like I've made alts for them for like different body types or like shapes and whatnot. Uh, so to answer your question, the answer is I'm willing to make it as large or as small as you want it. The the problem or rather the crux of it is more just like how much are you willing to pay for it because the more different it is, the more I'm gonna charge because then it's like a basically like a different piece almost. So like I had one person who wanted a really 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 different body shape and I think that ended up costing them an extra 50. Have a great lunch. Thanks for the chill stream. Oh, well, I'm glad you had fun, Ari. It was a ton of fun. So yeah, one of the things I've definitely been, makes sense. So what were you about to say that I helped with? Oh God, yeah, what? Oh right. You were suggesting I do a Halloween YCH, like a seasonal YCH, which I was considering, which I've been thinking a lot about lately. And so one of the things I've been thinking about doing is, so the TLDR is this. I'm generally taking this year off to see if I can make my artwork. So uh, like I'm kind of not really working too much outside of art because I just want to see if I can make my art like kind of economically viable. And if that becomes the case, then I will just do art full time. And so like that's so like I've opened up like the Patreon. I've opened up like I'm doing these YCHs. These YCHs have been a huge help. You guys have no idea. Like seriously. Uh, so the YCHs are definitely a big part of that. Generally speaking, if I can start to make more money from art, I'll be able to do this stuff full time. And so like the volume of output I have now will probably continue as long as I still have support for my art. So um like generally speaking, like I'm still gonna do art like no matter what, right? Uh but if I want to be able to keep putting out like hang on, let me grab an example real quick. If I want to be able to still put out like a comic like maybe like once every week or two or like tons of new art or do all these YCHs so frequently, then art has to be a bit more viable for me income wise, especially like passively. That's why I started the Patreon. So like I can't I can't promise anything for the Patreon because like I've seen a lot of artists do Patreon and like it really takes it out on them. But like I have a ton of extra stuff I've had lying around and stuff I don't post for weeks, and so like I might as well just put it there anyway. But the Patreon is basically a big fancy tip jar. Like if you like seeing what I do and you like seeing my art, the best way to support me so that I can keep doing stuff is just like via the Patreon, like for stuff like that, kind of like a tip jar or like whatnot. It helps keep me doing things and whatnot. I hope you get to achieve your goals and be able to do art full time. You're an extremely talented artist and super kind, extremely deserving. Thank you. Uh, I just joined as a tip jar. Anything more is a bonus. Oh, thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that, dude. Yeah, don't worry though. There is a ton of stuff that's going to be on the Patreon just by proxy of me having like sheer like volumes of random stuff that I just haven't posted like ever. I hope it works out. I'd say you put out the highest quality. Okay, I don't know if I'd say that. There's some really good artists there, but thank you. That's very flattering. Thank you. I hope it turns out for you. Yeah, like at the end of the day, um, if this year doesn't quite like if art becoming economically viable is like my pipe dream. Like if I can achieve that, that's like the moon for me. Like that's like the stars almost. Like I kind of went into this with the expectation of like I don't think it's going to work out, but I want to do it because if I know if I don't do it, I'm going to regret it. So I'm doing it now because I'm like I have the time now, I have the energy now to do this, like try and do it full time. And like I might as well like start stockpiling stuff because it eventually like I'm probably just gonna have to get like a studio job or like even just like a retail job or something. Uh, and so like yeah, like I want to try at least and see how it goes. If it doesn't turn all right, I kind of expected that to be honest. Like this is already a lot further than I thought it was gonna get. Like I didn't think the Patreon would actually take off that quickly. But yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I guess I'll finish up the stream. There's going to be another stream in a few hours, probably. That one's going to be more focused on the last YCH I'm going to be doing for Zelda Fan. And what was I going to say? The comic. I want to see if I can do a comic page. So those might actually be like two separate streams. Like it'll be like the one for Zelda Fan, and then right after, like I'm going to stop that, and then like 2 seconds after that, I'm going to open up the new one just so it's a bit more organized. Uh, and then like yeah, just generally speaking, I'm gonna have lunch. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do this, and I'll probably keep going until like the evening. My guess is. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you have people who you think would like my work, like my art or whatnot, I'm super flattered that all of you love my stuff. But yeah, if you guys want to support, I have the Patreon. I've had the YCHs. Just like in between things with my mentee, I've heard something about you having lots you haven't posted. You want to see them? Trust me, like I think like 30 to 40% of all the art I've ever done, I have never posted because I was way, 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 way too shy to like put it out there. So like, I can show one right now. Actually, I have like tons. Where's my old art, real quick? Yeah, I have like just volumes of stuff that I guarantee you most people here have never seen. Uh, like this was an art experiment I did way, 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 way back when. Thanks for sharing. It was a blast. Wait, there's more? Yeah, no, there's tons. Uh, hang on, I'm scrolling through. Here's another good example. So yeah, this is like an old art experiment I did for like a kind of abstract piece. I never posted that. Uh, some concept art I never posted. This was back in my like Halcyon Bronze day. This was like a concept for the city that I never ended up really posting anywhere. This is like 2 years old now. Uh, woo, buildings. Yo, that looks nuts. Thank you. Yeah, there's like a lot. This one, which I actually posted recently, I never really posted this beforehand. I think I posted it once, but it was like years ago. I like your architecture design. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of my old art I was too shy to post because my old art never really took off. Especially my original art. My original art never really went anywhere, so I just kind of focused on like fan art and stuff like that. Yeah, never. At the time, I was more focused on like making it like popular because I was like, oh, I want to get numbers because I was like, I need to make money. But now I don't really see it that way anymore. But at the time, I didn't post it because I was like, people don't really like my original art doesn't do that well. Here's another one that I never posted. This was an old trade for a friend of mine. And then stuff like this, which I was way too shy to bother posting. I was like, okay, I'm not posting this. This is spooky. But I'm posting it now. But there's like a ton of stuff. Uh, I think this was another trade I did for a friend. Some of you may have seen this. I know I posted it in a server, and I think I posted it once, like a year ago, and like nobody saw it. But it was an old trade for a friend. This one I'm really happy with how it came out. This is a trade for Chalk End, actually. Your art's definitely a gem in the rough, but it's good to hear you're just going it. Yeah, I think I kind of had to learn. I'm kind of glad a little bit that it happened the way it did, because I was really, really obsessed with like, I have to make this work. And now I've kind of just been like, I'm like, if it doesn't work, it's fine. Like it's okay. Like I'm okay with whatever happens. There are times I get really down about like numbers and stuff, but like I'm happy with where things are now. They are on the rise, and sometimes it definitely hits, but it is what it is. Oh, here's another one I never posted. Uh, and another one, and I think there's another one around here. I'm gonna be, by the way, for anyone who wants to see more of these, I'm gonna be putting out like a ton of them, like on the Patreon at some point. If the Patreon hasn't been updated in like a day or two, it's just because like I've kind of been busy with a couple other things, but I do update it pretty frequently, almost like every other day. Lizard. Yeah, this was another old trade. And then I think, this was my Sona's old ref sheet. I posted this once like years ago. I'm still really proud of how this one came out. The aesthetic is really nice, I think. There is a lot of lore for this one. I still really am proud of how it came out. Uh, your ref sheets are astounding. Thank you. Yeah, back when I posted this, I think like two people saw it, and then I was just like, okay, well, I will just not post my Sona anymore. And so I just stopped. Admittedly, not the right attitude to have back then. Now I just post things and I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. But like, yeah, I had like the little bone arm back then, and I do still like this like arm band thing. I might do something with that, especially this like armor. I like this little armor concept I made. But yeah, what else is there? Uh, another old trade. Here's another old trade I did. Yeah, I've had like I just have like a ton of stuff that like just a lot of people haven't seen. This one, I know I've posted this one once in a server, but I don't think I posted. This was an old trade with Sparko that I'm still really happy with how it came out actually. The armband is so cute. I love these sheets again, like the Halcyon Bronze character sheets. Oh, okay. It's good you mentioned that because I have like dozens of art pieces for Halcyon Bronze I've never posted. Kind of cool seeing how far your art's come since the slightly older stuff. Thank you. Helldivers looking moment. So this was before Helldivers even came out. This was like 3 years ago, I think. This was like when I first started shading with art. I did this for Sparko, so XX Sparkox, I think. It's like you can check them out on FA. They also do like kind of heavier character art. Uh, damn. Okay, yeah, I kind of forgot just how much Halcyon Bronze art I ended up doing. Like this was like a random piece that I did for like a Haiju character. This was like 4 years ago almost. Heavier character art is one way to put it. Yeah, that's the politically correct way of saying it, I guess. Here's another character I did like way back then. This is like, damn, this is like when I came out of high school almost. This is just like some of the stuff too. Like there's a lot. Strider? No, I don't remember that one. I don't remember this one. Ooh, okay. Okay, this is going far back. So this is 3 years ago. Disney Atlantis. Yeah. Now that you mention it a little bit, yeah. I think it's the hands. I like doing hands with character. Compliment because I love that. Oh, thank you. Okay, you guys want to see something fucking ancient. Hang on, look at this. These were the old sheets I did back when Halcyon Bronze was still called Dominion. This is ancient. Now this is old. This is old. So like this is when I first started writing Halcyon Bronze as like a political drama almost. So this is when it was called Dominion and it was more about like drama between the characters. Uh Damn, I remember posting these. They got like 5 likes, but I was so proud of them. Uh Yeah, no, I did flags, I did like pages and stuff like that. I've done a lot of flag designs for those of you who are into that. I might post those. I have a couple I can show right off the bat that I'm really proud of. Now this is, yeah, trust me, that's like a snippet of the stuff I've been sitting on for the past few years. Like I said, I never really posted it because A, I was too shy to be like, oh, I draw like heavier characters, and then B, I noticed like, oh, people don't really like my original well, I noticed it didn't get likes, and at the time, to me, that was like, oh, I should just focus on posting fan art, and then in the future, I can do my original stuff. Yeah, no, the horde is huge. Like, I can't even. Hang on, I'm trying to find the flags. Here we go. Holy shit. Okay, there's a lot. This was just a random flag I made for a friend because they asked me to, and I really liked how that came out. Uh, so if any of you know Duace, I actually did this flag for his character like 3 or 4 years ago. I did this flag for Duace. I did that one. It's almost certainly that people just weren't seeing it at the time. Yeah, yeah. It is what it is. You know, I try not to think about it too much, but I'm sure there's a part of me that's still like a little bit jaded about that. This one I'm super proud of. This was a flag for I think Persia that I made back in like back in when I was like playing Hoi 4. But then I kind of adapted it to I think the Halcyon lore because I thought it was kind of neat. I'm really proud of how this one came out, honestly. What a small world. I never would have expected a connection for that flag to be. Yeah, yeah. No, I've known Duace for a little bit. Get eyes on your work first once you have a grown audience, and yeah, Alexa. That's kind of the theory that I had at the time for sure. But honestly, I kind of wish I just did my own stuff a bit earlier. I love that green. Yeah, flags that aren't minimalist Reddit slop. Okay, if you really want to see a flag that's not minimalist, hang on. Let me. Where are my Raramitsu flags? So these were the proper Halcyon Bronze like flags. Like these were the flags. So this was the Castian flag, which was like the main flag of like where the story took place and whatnot. The lore is way too extensive to get into right now, but like just generally speaking, it was like a country had kind of fallen apart, like an empire had kind of, like the first empire had kind of fallen apart and whatnot, and like my state flag had a referendum and none of the two designs passed. So I'm so sad. All my sympathies. There's like a ton of lore in this one though, for sure. So the Castians were like this kind of the military essentially that just were there to kind of keep the peace, kind of more civil protectors than anything. Bro, what happened to Minnesota? I know. Uh, State flags are funny like that, but I did some more. The Cascai district, which I honestly thought had like a really strong impact. Yeah, it looks like a toothpaste brand. The Minnesota flag looks. I mean, I kind of like it a little bit. I try not to have opinions on that sort of thing because I think it trees. Yes, there are trees. I think it looks okay, honestly. Like I don't really have an opinion that big on that sort of thing. But this is the Cascai district. This would be the fifth you've done for me, Lexi number 5. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Lexi. I completely forgot to send you the new art. Hang on. As soon as the stream is done, I'll show you. Old flags. I'm in Wisconsin. I happen to have a grudge against them. Oh my goodness. I think the flag I'm most proud of though is this one. This was the flag for Haiju, and I think it came out probably the best of them all. Like this one is like the perfect blend of minimalism to like actual detail for me, I think. So the Haiju flag was about in the area where they lived, the Haiju basin was like where all the more like kind of cinecentric areas were. Uh, and it basically has like their constitution on it, which is like, for context, Halcyon Bronze was a world where anthros and humans lived alongside each other, and after a big conflict overseas, like they tried to explore and then it just didn't work out. Uh, the first kind of real state disappeared, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, this is a problem. What do we do now?" And then yeah, so like it led to like a period of unrest where different groups were trying to like figure out how to reorganize society, because it was basically like a Bronze Age collapse, which is why I called it Halcyon Bronze, where they had this memory of this old world, which wasn't even that old, honestly. Like they'd only really had civilization for like a couple hundred years. Um, and they had this halcyon, like this warm memory of a past that they wanted to go back to. And every group, they weren't about to fight, like they didn't want to fight, but every group kind of had a different idea of how things work, so it kind of became like almost like a feudal world where different groups had different beliefs. And you can actually see here the Haiju flag up there. So the Haiju people were basically like under the idea that the problems were started because the groups couldn't organize with each other's differences. And so Haiju became like the center for the New Static Rebellion, who were the people who believed that their world needed to be decentralized, and the different groups of anthros and humans needed to have spaces for each other. To a degree, I guess you could call it like a light segregation almost, but they generally like, and again, it's effectively just like complete bias for other groups of people. Like it's in like, from our perspective, we would see it as segregation, but to them they were like, they saw that as the answer. But like definitely the other groups at the time, so like let me find an example. So the Castians, for example, saw the complete opposite, whereas the New Static people believe that, like, so like the Haiju groups, essentially all these groups that were underneath the New Static principles, the Castians believed in the complete opposite. That doing that would just make the problems worse, and what they needed to do was they needed to use um, a collective force, which was like the kind of civil protection service that they had, which was like an authoritarian kind of democracy almost. They needed to use the civil protection services to keep people together. And by emphasizing the difference in each of the different groups of people, it would only make it worse. And so the Castians believed, okay, every building should have a place for larger anthros, medium anthros, and smaller anthros, as well as humans. Whereas the New Static group believed that there should be separate areas for those people who can be together with their own groups, and then they have places to congregate together and whatnot. So these two groups were like fundamentally opposed to one another. Oops, little a little Freudian slip there. One sec. Here you go. That's a teaser for the future, by the way. But so yeah, so these different groups kind of like if I'm definitely gonna go back to this world someday, probably not right now. Definitely not right now. It's gonna take like a couple, like maybe a couple years before I feel confident to do it. Mostly because I had some personal problems going on that bled into it. But I do want to go back to it for sure. Um, it's gonna be really different though, like without a doubt. It's definitely gonna be very different. But oh my god, not again. It kept happening. But yeah, so like at some point, I'm definitely gonna hang on. Let me sift through all the art. Yeah, there we go. So we are. Still some very cool work, no matter what. Yeah. Uh, it ended up being mostly just world building, because that's what I was able to do at the time. But in the future, I'll probably revisit it, like I said. But it's gonna be really different. That said, I have some ideas for it that I'm really excited to mess with. Like now that I actually know more about like stories and stuff like that, and I've actually like I'm having fun with them now. I'm not just doing them because like I think that's what I need to do. I definitely have some really cool ideas. But anyway, all right, that's the stream. I'm gonna go head for lunch. I'll be back in a couple hours. I'm gonna stream the last one, and then I'm probably gonna work on a comic or something. So it was lovely having you all here. Uh, Everybody thank Lexi for today's little YCH slot, and have a lovely evening, everyone. Sorry, evening. It's like lunch. Sorry, never mind. Evening, morning, whatever, wherever you guys are. All right. Have a good time.